Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, lovers of freedom. Wherever you are watching us from, we are here live at this moment. This is Nelly's TV. Please, as you come across this video, do us a favor by clicking the like button. If you click the like button, it will help YouTube to spread the video. So if you don't want it to go viral, do not click. But if it pleases you that as you come across, you want other people to watch it, I beg you, please just click the like button. It will not do you any harm. It is just within a second you have done it. I beg you. Just click the like button, please. As you just open it, click the like button to enable YouTube to push it forward. It will also help this channel to grow. I beg you. Support this channel in any way you feel you can. In any way you feel you can, please, you can support the channel. I beg you. Thank you so much. And if you've not subscribed, do us a favor to subscribe so that this channel will grow. Ndewonu. All lovers of freedom. What we are here is to propagate the gospel of freedom and nothing, and to say the truth the way it is. Okay, so not to forget, we have been seeing what is happening. Just permit me, I am too low down. We've seen what is happening. The other day, I made a program about Obicubana, how he was lamenting bitterly. He said it. I made a program with that. Osegi no onunu kakwa nkụ na-egwugo onunu debe chebiri onye ga-adakpi. Fact that n'onunu ka nkụ ndị zugwugoro dowere ndị Biafrans. Knows who we enter, who is the next. And you remember what is it Obadiah Melafia said? Is it Obadiah Melafia that said that? You know, when he was talking about that ethnic cleansing, and he made mention that a time will come, all the prominent people in Igbo land, they will be taking them one after the other, so that after that the Southeast will be crippled financially, will be crippled, so that if they want to do anything, ha shi launch attack, unu agaghị enweta onwe unu, onweghị onye ga-asị ka o tinye aka ma ka o were akụnụba ya tinye aka. He mentioned that, I think it's a Obadiah Melafia that said that, or was it a T.Y. Danjuma? I can't remember. One of these people said it, that the plan against the economic dues in Southeast, more especially in Igbo land, that the target of Nigeria ka ha cripple, ka ha cripple the big dues, so that unaga onye ọkwenye ji ego na-ekwu okwu. Okay, gị jiri ego ibe gị na-aba ị na-aba. So they know what they are doing, and that is why ọ na-awụ apụta abịa ha na okay, let's start. The other time abịa mee na na-azụ ego azụ, the very first time in Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. He prophesied about it, and when it happened, what did they do? Anyị na-azụ ego na Southeast. I were 10,000 naira, enye gị 8,000 or 7,000. O nwere mgbe o ruru sef 10,000, enye gị 6,000. Mana go to the north, what were they doing? Ha ji van, ha ji central bank van, moto na-ebu ego, na-aga n'ugwu Awụsa na village n'ụlọ. It was shown, na-eke ha ego, na-enye ha ego, because there was scarcity of money in the system, which ọwụ ha ji aka ha wee create. ọgwụ ha ji aka ha wee kretie ya. Mana ndị South East na-ata afụfụ. There was no money. Ego itinyekwere na bank. In fact, ha medere asị onye ọbụla chịrị all the whole money, old money, chịrị ya ga tinye na bank. That enye date na ọdịkwa ụta. Nobody will see the money. People went, ndị ji ego gbarisie ego ha. People gbarie ego ha. Ọtụtụ ndị na-emeti gị up at that very day. Na-achọzi onye ọma ya bụ ijiri 100,000, ị na-achọzi onye m ga-enye gị ma even if no 80,000, ya wụrụ nnọọ na ego apụrụ gị n'aka. And people were doing that. Ndị nwere long leg na bank were buying the money from them. Imagine such a thing. That was an economic jihad eji wee bịa na Southeast in that period, and since then ka ọ na-aga n'iru. Nke Christmas ha bidogokwa ya again. I just thank God that period. Ama m otu Chineke si wee na mere m amara. I was so blessed. Nsi anọ nwe ihe eme ka ngo ego. I couldn't buy that money, but how I was surviving is ihe nna amahụ. You know, sometimes nwere ike ịgazi igo ihe. Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ igo ihe 4,000, ijide 2,000 n'aka, isi onye ahụ biko nu ka m go ihe, achọrọ m igo ihe 4,000 ka m mere gị transfer. In fact, ka ngo ihe 4,000, then i mere m transfer. M ga-emere gị transfer 10,000 so that ka ị nwezi ike nye m 6,000 biko nunu. Gị na onye ahụ ayọ ya wụrụ na ọrụ customer gị, ọ sị gị na nsogbu adịghị, o nwere ike osi ụta nyere gị aka. That was how I was surviving. You know, to buy something and then I will transfer, they will give me cash of the balance. At a time, ha nwachiwazie because na asị na no na-emezu ha affect. So that is the economic jihad anyị na-ekwu okwu ya. Nke Christmas a ugbu a ha ebidogo ya again. Ha na-emezi ya every time. Bank will not have money. Every December na-eru ha ana or election na-eru ha ana, bank will not have money. Every Christmas, there will be no money in the bank. Ego ndị mmadụ tinyekwanụrụ na bank, ebee ka ọ dị? Bank ga-eje ego na-eresi na-enye ndị other business people, ndị POS, and ha na ndị POS ha na-arụkọ. Enwere ike ga-asị ka ọ na-awụ Nigeria na-eme this thing. Yes, all Nigeria na-eme ya because your system na-arụ ọrụ. Why is it not monitored? And why is it that they in the north they will be giving them free? Why is it not monitored? Yes, government is involved. Government is involved. Because all those things are named, the authority knows. They know. But here they will give them instruction. Do this thing in Southeast. So that Hamago that Nandi Bai will na Christmas every year. Christmas so that as you come to Christmas, you will spend through your nose. Because that is what we are known for. Every Christmas, you buy rice, you buy gift, you share to your people, you share to your loved ones, you give to neighbors. So what they are doing is that, so that you will now be struggling for yourself. You'll be struggling. How will you even buy the money that can take care of you and your immediate family and take you back from where you are coming from? That is the takia. That is it. Ahụ na nke ahụ, since iri ha bidoro na-emebisi ihe ndị Igbo na Lagos. Biafran's property na Lagos. A na-ekwu ya, ọwụ Lagos naanị ya, mana Abuja, Manugwu Hausa. They do it. Why are they doing this thing? They are doing it to cripple you so that this war ha bụ abịa. Ha launch ya this war ndị already mana mgbe ha ga-emezi ya officially according to them, unagaghị enwezi anything to hold on. Unu ga na-ayọzi wu biko maka na onye agụụ na-achọ ihe ọ ga-eri. Unu ekworo ya asịsị unu ị ga-abụ onye na-akpụ isi n'ana. You will be a Muslim. You put it by force, which is not your intention, which is ọbụghị obi gị. But because they have weakened you in one way, survive. That is the plan. Obicubana said here, they have dog pits. Now, what is happening? He say that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because Norutebegi. He say no, Nandiaho, they don't pay, follow the rules. They don't obey Nigerian government. As far as you are a Biafran, you don't know the next plan or the next who will be the next. So the best thing for you is to look for a way to take yourself out of that contraction. The best thing is for you to look for a way to support your freedom to exit that contraction. Because if that is not done, everybody one by one will be a victim. One by one will be a victim. You saw how they did it to the person that developed Lagos Island. Raw everything. All of a sudden, they did not even give him time to pick anything. They demolished things, crippled even workers, jobless. On our building. So no matter where you are, me ruru na Abuja, me ruru na Kano, me ruru na Lagos, even na Igbo, as I was saying, Ibeto, no seaport, na Port Harcourt. Well, it is good that you did it in the southeast, but I'm telling you that as far as you are still in this contraction in the zoo country, you are not free as far as they know that you are not one of them. A na-asị na aga kara aka anaghị eri nwa ngwọrọ, mana nke ndị be anyị na-anọzi aga kara aka a na-eri ha. What is the need of prophecy? Prophecy is for you to be careful, pray about it, and look for any means to stop it. Look for any means to stop it. Mana na awawashi unu nọrọ na-eche mgbe o megodiri. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu wee na-enye prophecy for how many years? For how many years ọ nọ nye prophecy? Onwego onye megarịrị ahụ. Unu asị na okwuka. Unu asị no nwere big mouth. Unu asị na ọ na-eme insult. Ebee ka unu nọ now? Where are we now? Ọ gwara this thing n'oge so that everybody prepare your mind. Imanye ji egbu ndị mmadụ wo psychology. I may capture your mind. They were telling you, don't mind him. He's causing division. Some people will say, who sent Maazị Nnamdi Kanu? When you didn't read that, he started by correcting that impression that Hajiwebia may divide our brothers from the south. And I said, no, I was south. I was south. In geography, there is nothing like south. I don't know. Mandi guru akwụkwọ. Go to geography. Is there anything like south? Ko na Nigeria ka geography ndị Nigeria dizi ishe. I be south. I no be Igbo. I saw one lady that is still having that mentality. This Igbo thing. But gini wa aha ya, ọ na-azakwa aha Igbo. I'm telling you the gospel truth. She's bearing Igbo name. I'm saying this is Igbo thing. I know be south. And they hear Igbo sumo. Ma no onye Delta. I was looking at her. You are my sister. You are my sister. You are bearing Igbo. As that Igbo, I kept speaking Igbo for her. So why are you bearing the Igbo name? If you are not an Igbo person, your name is typical Igbo name. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu started by correcting this impression, letting our people to know that we are one. They came and divided us with the state. I just say now Niger Delta. Again, Niger Delta. What is Niger Delta? from the creation of that contraction called Nigeria. Onwe ihe dịka Niger Delta. Ebute that propaganda were ya saa unu si psychologically unu ekwere. Were state divide ya psychologically unu ekwere. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and tried to bring us together to make peace. Instead onye ọwụna ga-enwe mind ya focus n'ihe ya agwara gị ọnọ nke prọfesị nyere na chọọchị ka anyị na-ewere. Because na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enweghị ụlọ ụka, onweghị katidral ndị ka nke Enenche nwekwere katidral, mana ọ na-anọ na chọọchị akpọ polisi si come and pick these people, torture them. If you watch Lucky Udu's video, you will see that guy that they went to church, church, to go and give thanksgiving. Because na yakwa edere Buhari must go. Enenche called police and arrested them and told them, torture them. Otuaka has know how many years in prison. Mana Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nweghị katidral o nwere. So what are we saying? I just decided to digress. Why am I saying this thing is that they are working on you, on your psychology. They are using economic jihad to weaken you. Obicubana came and was crying. Ndị ọzọ ha nwetagokwa n'ihe from it. Nke na-eme na Lagos, did they learn anything from it? They will still go and be buying land, buying dozens of acres of land. Asị gị na ọgbasị ha. Mana ọ ga-agbasị gị one day. Ọ ga-agbasị gị one day. Ndewo na Aderele, thank you. God bless you for joining. Chasoji, ndewo. God bless you. Good ending, Kim. Thank you all. So what are we saying? Please click the like, click the like button and let it go viral. Share it, please, so that corner gag and they won't be no. Share it. Okay. So, excuse me. Please click the like button. Very important. Please click the like button. I beg you. Click the like button and share to enable us grow. So Obicubana ebesego na akwa ahụ. Gịnị wee mechaa mee? Okay, I was talking about Ibeto. It is better for you people to know that there is a target against you people, which is not good. And for you to be free from it is to make your mind to support your freedom. Do not say this Biafra of a thing. Do not say I am not a Biafra. Do not say I am better United One Nigeria. Because one day Nigeria will happen to you. Those people that went to Toge to go and do protests, to Lekki Toge to go and do protests, they didn't know that Nigeria could happen to them, even with Nigerian flag. They know sent because they have agenda. They have agenda. And that their agenda. They will be working even if no take yes. Until one day he blow you out. Onya to real onya nyere prophecy wuko oke nkwusha. Onya zirozi wuko oke nkwusha and work towards it. Your no nke he work for it to be actualized. Your nke na adi homa, he work for it to be buried. When will you people come? This morning I love Ishota. Bring it out and support your freedom. Uno puta churu our soldiers. No how problem unu. Una that no that same authority of that contraction who the problem unu nwere, who the problem onye ọbụla nwere nọ na that country. What kind of thing is this? Kedu mgbe n'ebe anyị ga-ama ihe? A country that does not care about ndị nne-enye ha ihe ha ji eri nri. All the whole money ha na-elutu na-ebu na-arụ mansion, arụ na-ezo ebe niile. They are getting it from you. But it doesn't matter. Obicubana have been paying a heavy tax. But what happened? It could happen to anybody. So onye ruru seaport na Port Harcourt, ị na-echekwa na n'ịlafere ego, as far as you are still in that contraction, one day, ọwụkwa ekpere ka m na-ekpe ka ọ hapụ nọ, but I'm just telling you the truth, maka ọ na onye ekwu eziokwu ọrụwu na afọ. So what I'm saying is this, for us to prepare your mind and make haste. Or was when make haste while the sun shine? Because ndị anọzi gị n'okwu, they are at your door. They are at your door. The other day, the other guy put a form vigilante, go to guide your community, guide your community. But ndị pụtara na guide the community, una si no how would the problem. All of you gathered against them. Na-enye information ebe ha nọ. Na-enye information ebe ha nọ. Ọkwa nke ahụ adajugo. Since unu anaghị ahụzi ha, ọkwa obego. Onye onye na-akpọ gentle. Mana ihe ogbugba na-egbu ndị mmadụ, ọ na-akwụsịgo. Is it not going on? But you people like unu akpọzighị gentle n'ọnụ, unu akpọzighị commander nje makeup n'ọnụ. Mana ihe ka na-eme ni ka na-eme. When will you learn? When will you learn? When will you learn? Look at what that happened to Obicubana. Okay, if Obicubana, okay, let's play music to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before we go further. Please sit at home. I think 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, I think so, if I'm not mistaken. 15, 16, 17, 18, I think 19 is inclusive. A sit at home. Nọrọ n'ụlọ, so that ka ndị nwere ike mara ihe a ga-eme ka esi wee shụa ndị ukwu eru. Sit at home. I think 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ịma asị gịnị ka eji achụpụ ndị mmadụ n'ụlọ for almost 1 week. Business ị na-eme, ị na-enwe adịghị sure of your safety, ọ na-awụ ya kara gị mma than ị nọ n'ụlọ 1 week. Ewee mee kombo mara ka ya esi wee shụọ ndị a ukwu eru. So ọ kazikwara gị maka isi uzuru nke ka gị mma, mana ana m agwa gị na ịpụtakwa, it is still this Nigerian government, what they know how to do, they will still do it by pushing down ndị omekome. By pushing down ndị omekome, ha pụta wee na-agba egbe everywhere. Ha gbachi egbe, ha si unu nọ IPOB, si unu nọ ESN, si unu nọ Gentle, si unu nọ Nnamdi Kanu na Simon Ekpa. Nke ugbo a ga-asịsị gị nọ that man in US oge nkiri is not following the right way. Ọhịa a ga-asịsị unu. So to avoid that, you better sit at home these days. Support your freedom. All these people Diego, you don't know when it will happen to you. Wherever they support our freedom, let us fight this fight once and for all. Ka anyị lụọ ọgụ a nwere udo. Izu ike adịghị n'ụwa. Ị nọrọ na beg ya na-achọ gị. So what do? Ị ga-afanye aka na mpata. You have to do what you should do to protect yourself. check the distance, how many kilometers ka ndị a si wee bata na be anyị. Nigeria nye ha access. The other day ka nwere truck asị that ngwaga ka o bujuru ebe niile, ngwaga ka o bu, ndị jide si na ha mere ha intercept from Niger Kaduna Niger, is it Niger Kano, as the high express nke a na-akpọ lane A. But ihe m na-ajụ, have they been able to find out the people mere ship that thing, and where is it going? Who has that? Nigeria cannot do that because they have an agenda. Anwụ na ngwọ na nkwụ na-abịa, because we are here to expose. Maka ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ amaghị ihe, so that onye ọbụla ga-eme across this video ka ọ na-aga viral. The plan of these people against you. The plan of these people against you. So that gị na-asị na onweghị ihe gbasara gịnị, ọ gbasakwara gị. Ọ gbasakwara gị maka na onweghị onye ma echi. Onweghị onye ma onye a ga-eme kidnap, onweghị onye ma onye ọ ga-adara, onweghị onye ma ụbọchị a ga-echeta gị na biznes gị. You better support your freedom. You better support your freedom. Support Brigi. Soro ugbo na-aga aga. Soro ugbo na-aga aga. Support Brigi. Support your freedom. Today is a African town hall meeting. You have to do that. Let it be in mass. Let there be a big turnaround. I mean, today is fundraising. Today is fundraising. Tomorrow is town hall meeting. So please show up. Show up. Okay? Show up. Please share, click the like button. But it's all people are blind and saying it's causing division. Tell me why someone will sacrifice his life for you and I. Tell me why out of sight has become out of our mind. He's asking for nothing, accuse but not for these people emancipation. No. But there is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. In the morning sun will rise. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. The morning sun will rise. And he live for nothing, doesn't care about nothing, and abandon his family. Yeah. Oh. Take your time and think what is going through. He doesn't want to give up, but to protect you. Even when they throw him African choo-choo. Oh no, yeah. Bring up the cannon now. Let me hear you sing. Bring up the cannon now. You hate him because of envy. We love him, he's one and only. We follow him because he's ready to die for the freedom of his people. Whatever he said is a prophecy. Take it on your living letter, you believe. He's so fanatical and never ready to die for the freedom of his people. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. In the morning sun will rise. There is a breaking news to To those who never knew, permit me to give you a new. The morning's on the rise. Free of the cannon now. Of the cannon now. Free of the cannon now. Please share. Click the like button. Click the like button and share, please. My brother Charles, Ndewo, from the land of the rising sun. Wow. The blessed land of Biafra. Okay, so here we go without wasting time. Look at it. After Obicubana lamented on how they have gwele onunu, ọ sịghị na onunu kakwa nkụ na ya na-echeziwe onye ga-adanye n'ime ya. People did not really understand. It says here, the FCT High Court Enforcement Unit has officially handed over Obicubana's cash flow club building to a new owner, and the structure is now being demolished. This building was worth over 100 million naira. They didn't even give him opportunity to get his property. They did not give him opportunity because they want to render you useless. That is why they will not give you opportunity. And onye aka ha na-eme nke ọbụla ha chọrọ ime, they will not give the person time. O nwere ike asị gị 2 days or 3 days. Ụfọdụ ga-anọzi ebe ahụ gaa ahụ ndị bịara for destruction. Which country functions like that? When you have destroyed a property that worth up to this amount and you are crying that Nanda's receipt at home, now they may weaken the economy. Now, who is weakening the economy? If you can stay just in a one particular building, you lose about 100 million naira. A property that worth about 100 million naira, you just destroy it because of annual offer, because ni shori megide ụmụ Biafra, because ni filiri. Now ndị aka ha ji aba mba n'onwe ihe ya emeni ka unu chi ime ka ha hapụ isi ka ha wepụta ego nye ndị nke ha, of which they are not. Ha kwanyere unu. But why are we crying? Because now see that blood is thicker than water. That is why we are crying. When they say sit at home, you will come and say, yeah, your business, your this. The Southeast is losing the Southeast they lose billions upon billions when they don't even care about how you're eating. How wanna may destroy all these things? Or economic how they may cripple? Or what the same Southeast economy, because Onya is from Southeast Nigeria, which is in Biafra land. Nke ha wụ mmebi, nke ha wụ scuttle the economy. Okay, now look at what somebody wrote. In trying to counter it. So we are going to see reason here. Let's see. He said here, Obicubana was renting the property. Another person went and bought it from the owner. Probably Cubana also wanted to buy it also, but it didn't work out, so he wasn't happy and was reluctant to leave. Are you seeing here? Using court order to delay justice. Have you seen it? Ihe awụ takia. Now, if Obicubana was renting that building, okay, it is not his building. Why would Nigeria go to destroy the building if it was not his own? So if they have the power, if court has the power to revoke the building, the property, and give it to another person, why wouldn't they have the power also to revoke it just like that without destroying it, if it is what this person wrote to here? So why destroying the building? Why damaging the building without letting him pick what belongs to him? I mean, Nigerian authority has that power. If they want him to leave it, actually, it wasn't his building. If actually it was on rentage and they asked him to leave and he refused to leave, where did court order? They made delay tactics according to this person that wrote to this thing. Who is this? It's not again. Umenta Brat. Umenta Brat wrote this thing. Every time una dey no politically correct, onye ahụ nwere ike iwe onye Igbo abịaghị defend. But the question, if at all that what you said here is true, why destroying the building? Why didn't they give him time to evict? If finally the court has ruled that it is not his own, that he should leave, that somebody else have bought it, why didn't they give him time? Because is it not court that will say even a landlord chase you out of the house, ask you to give you quick notice, no ga-enye at least 3 months. Isho na maga enweta gị enye go extra one. Ishokwa maga enweta gị enye go extra one before enyeze gị the last warning. So why is it that that same court could not give him time to evict his property? That is the question for this person who did this thing. Ogani who need or say court judgment on takeover Obicubana's law. Can you the lodge? Not the lunge. He said the dispute dates back to July 2025, when the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Gwagwalada, ruled that Onwuzurike proprietor of SEMC Investment Limited was the legitimate owner. Ihụla ya, ọkwa dịsị onye Igbo. Ihụla ya. Could you imagine that Onwuzurike proprietor of SEMC Investment Limited was the legitimate owner? According to court documents, they purchased. According to court document, he purchased the property from Reverend Chidebere Amakeze for 2 billion naira, supported by a power of attorney and deed of assignment executed with effect from May 1st, 2024. Now, what is happening here? Ọkwa ịrakọ ndị Igbo n'Igbo isi, ma onye gara goni, ma Reverend nwanụ, ma the proprietor nwanụ, all of you, ọnụnwa eji unu wee were na-akwara ngwa ọrụ against your own brother. Against your own brother. That is the problem. That is the problem. So You know onye Igbo onye goro that property. Why will you not tell them that let them give him time? Why is it that it is that property go? Is it the only property in Abuja? Or good property and ego in Abuja? Go and buy yourself. Go and fight yourselves. The same thing happened. There are Ebubago, do better na southeast. Ebubago, where they ebuzu Igbo. Though they are mixed up, manandi Igbo so ha. When I had the base, they were Chirumu Moseti Wuba, Jirihane, wherever I'm war, manandi do you on us. Now look at it here. Only an Igbo man business can be destroyed overnight without compensation. Okay, as if I knew. FCT High Court Enforcement Unit has officially handed over Obicubana's cash flow club building to a new owner as the structure gets torn down. Now, that is the problem. It's only an Igbo. How is it that we are not hearing now destroy the property of a Fulani man neighbor, of a Yoruba man neighbor? It is not done. It is not done. Mana ihe that's we bia were confusion bia tinye ebe awu na sị gị na onye Igbo goro ya. Na onye Igbo onye goro ya ni. Ka bute ogbagara. Ka bute esomokwu dịrị nwanne na nwanne. Why is it that they did not give him time to evict his things? And why destroying that building? That is my question. Why destroying the building? I mean, a building not may function. So why destroying it instead of evicting the thing in the eba? Okay, the game man unu kwapụtara the property the way ya na-ezi. So ya bịa jirizie nwa ya chọkọ ya esi wee buru ngwongwo ya. Otu esi eme n'ihe now. Unu bịa una na-eche na ndị mmadụ enweghị brain.
By the court order, today being the 9th of December 2025. Congratulations, possession has been handed over to you officially. Thank you very much.
So that is it. All right. It was just a short something. Look at the building here. See the building, how they destroy it. Why are they destroying the building? Why this? In fact, they couldn't knock his name, maybe see everything. Why? My question is, why destroying the building? Why destroying the building? When you know that you have the power to tell the person to evict, and he's evicting, why not bring out his property outside? So that are the outside, or that is the problem. That is the problem. I say that it is a tactics. It's a tactics. Okay, let's hear the news here. Nigeria, otu akụnụ ya na-adakpu n'ime nsogbu. Akwa Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ka unu oji. Ọ ga-awụ nnọọ from one problem to another ka unu ga na-ahụ onwe unu. Unu ga na-adakpu. The other day ka Burkina Faso nsiziri jet unu na ndị unu duru jaga. Mana unu achọzi etu unu si atọ ọnụ ya. The story awuruzie that na the jet na fly. It is flying over. It's going to Italia. It's going to Algeria. Is going to so because I was asking on the Burkina Onaji Guinea will draw Yaya down if you people did not land in their territory. Burkina could not just see a plane that is crossing his country or draw Yaya down. Maka na unu na-agwa Biati. Unu na-agwa Biati. Unu chọrọ unu achọta unu esi wee nọ na-abịa everywhere. Unu buru na nke unu gaa Benin Republic. Mana you cannot control the insecurity in your country. You cannot stop the buying of people. Igbuzi mmadụ na Nigeria wụzi ọ dịzighị ihe ọ dị ka ya. Ọ dịzị ka normal thing. Asị gị hey, thousands of people, 100 emere kidnap, egbukwara. Isi wow, ọgwụkwa. Ọ wụzighị ihe na-awụ isi na mmadụ nwụrụ onye ọnwụ ebe ndị agaghị ekwu oriri. They have made it ya dịzie ka normal thing. Otu akụnya na-adakpụ na nsogbu until una hapụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, until una si Biafra ha gaziere onwe ha. If you don't do it, unu ga na-adakpụ na nsogbu one by one. US intercepts Nigerian oil super tank over alleged oil theft and piracy. Look at it. December 12, 2025. That was yesterday. Look at the ship here. Layer. Let's get the news. Also, the United States Coast Guard, working with the US Navy, has intercepted a Nigerian-owned super tanker over allegations of crude oil theft, piracy, and other transnational crimes, according to US security sources and reporting by Vanguard. It says the vessel skipper, a 20-year-old very large crude carrier with IMO number 9304667, is reportedly owned and managed by Nigeria-based Tomaros Global Ventures Limited. Tomaros Global Ventures Limited. Although its registered owner is listed as Triton. As Triton Navigation Corp in the Marshall Islands. Authorities said the tanker was illegally flying the Guinness. The Guinness. Is it Guinness or what? Authorities said the tanker was illegally flying the Guyanese flag. At the time of its arrest. Guyanese Maritime Administration Department later confirmed skipper is not on the national registry and was using the flag without authorization. US officials said the seizure was conducted under American law enforcement authority, and former President Trump publicly announced the operation. Okay, this is recent. And President Donald Trump publicly announced the operation. Beyond suspected beyond suspected stolen crude, the tanker is also being investigated for allegedly transporting hard drugs and operating within a network backed by suspected Iranian and Islamic linked money laundering financiers, according to US sources. Una nụrụ ya? It further says, a search of Nigeria's Corporate Affairs Commission records shows Tomaros is inactive. The company's registered address, according to Vanguard, is in Efuru, Delta State, though there are no listed contact numbers. Contact numbers. Nigeria loses billions to oil theft. Okay, so this is about how many billion? He said this is estimated to be about 3.3 billion dollars. This is what they are losing. In fact, sorry, let me just go through this. He said the intersection comes most after the Nigerian extractive industries after the extractive industries transparency is initiative, that is NETI, reported that the country lost 13.5 million barrels of crude oil, worth an estimated $3.3 billion to theft and pipeline sabotage between 2023 and 2024. NETI executive secretary Ogbonnaya Orji said the losses equaled a full year of the federal health budget and highlighted long-standing governance gaps in the energy sector. This is how Nigeria is. Onweghị ihe kpakọrọ ọnụ na Nigeria. The same Orji said that NETI had expanded its role beyond auditing to include broader governance reforms, including beneficial ownership tracking, collaborating with industry regulators, and the new transparency framework for Nigeria energy transition. Crude oil na-amị na Nigeria, they don't know anything about it. They don't know the barrel. They don't know how they work. So if this ship was got missing, if it's not registered, so who owns it? And it has a number, an IMO number, which is a Nigerian number. So who gave it that number? And why is it carrying another person's flag, another country's flag, when it has a number of a different flag of a different country and a flag of a different country? What is happening? Nigeria. Let us see their counter statement. Let's see their counter statement. So look at Nigeria in response. Ship seized by US, not Nigerian. Or say, ship seized by US, not Nigerian. So they are not telling you that the ship that is seized is not a Nigerian US. So that number is which number? Who has the number? You say it's carrying an Imo number. And the number is read out. So who has it? When that line, he said that that ship was last seen in July 2024, according to NIMASA. Let's see. This. Now look at it. You are telling us that it is not a Nigerian ship. And the last time you saw it was July 2024. Is it not contradicting? Is it not contradicting that it is not a Nigerian ship and it was last seen in Nigeria in July 2024, according to NIMESA? So what happened if it is not a Nigerian ship and it was not seen in Nigeria? As what? As a foreign ship that came to Nigeria or what? And it is carrying an IMO number and it is registered in Delta State, in Efuru, in Delta State. You see how Nigeria can never tell themselves the truth. Eh? You come out to come and lie about or to disclaim it. You cannot even articulate very well. You say that it is not a Nigerian ship. And on the same time, in the same note here, you are telling us that it was last seen in July 2024. That is NIMASA, right? So when it was last seen in July 2024, that was last year, 1 year ago. All right? 1 year and some months. Okay. It was last seen in Nigeria. And it is not Nigerian ship. So who owns the ship? When it was last seen in Nigeria, 2024, did it come as a foreign ship? So when it came as a foreign ship, who owned it then that you've last seen, the last time you saw it? Whose ship was it? The last time you saw it in your territory, Nigeria, whose ship was it? I don't know. You are even writing this without articulating what you're writing. You are denying that it's not Nigerian, and you're telling us that it was last seen in July 2024, and it is carrying IMO number, and it is registered in Delta State, Efuru. You last saw it in 2024. When you last saw it, whose country owned it? Ọ dịkwa egwu. Ọ dịkwa egwu. Unu na-atụkwa n'asị. Unu na-atụ asị m ga-ekwekwenu ngọta. This lie does not work. There is no synergy there. The Nigerian Maritime Administration, excuse me, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has said the very large crude carrier, VLCC, MV Skipper, with IMO number 9304667, arrested by the US Navy for alleged crude theft and other transnational crimes, is not registered with the organization. So it is not registered with the organization. Which organization? It is not registered, and it has been operating in your territory, and it is not registered. So it normally comes and goes, and it is not registered. So who owns it? Nigeria. Who owns that ship? Who owns that ship with IMO number 9304667? Who owns it? You last saw it in July 2024. From where did it come? Did it come to to your territory. Okay, so when did it come in your territory? Unu na-ekwukwe n'okwu, unu amara ndị unu na-agwa okwu. So if this ship is registered, is registered in Delta State, okay, in a full, and it is carrying this organization number, IMO, all right? It's carrying IMO number 9304667, which is International Maritime Organization. International Maritime Organization, which means it is registered. If it is carrying this number, it means that it is registered. So if it is not registered, who gave it that number? Why is it carrying the emblem? And the time that you used to see it, so because you said the last time you saw it, which means you have been seeing it. So the last time you saw it in your territory, from where does it come from? Who owns it? Where did it come into your territory? And when it was leaving, the last time you saw it, where was it going? Where was it going? That is what you have to tell the populace. Yeah, Nigeria. Say the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has said the very large crude carrier, VLCC, my ship, MV Skipper, with IMO number, that is International Maritime Organization, 9304667, arrested by the US Navy for alleged crude theft and other transnational crimes, is not registered with the organization. Nah, ọ dịkwa egwu. He said in his statement, the agency stated that the purported owners of the vessel, Tomaros Global Ventures, Global Ventures Limited, are not registered with NIMASA as a shipping company. Una anokwa. Hey, Chineke nna. This Tomaros, Owoye Ebe, from where? He says it's a Nigerian base, which means it's not a Nigerian. Nigeria wey borrowed country o. Onwe ndị nwe Nigeria, onwe ndị nwe ya ni, ọ bụghị unu nwa nwunye. Chineke nna. Purported owners of the vessel. He says the agency's head of public relations, Edward Osagi, stated the attention of the management of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and the Safety Agency, NIMASA, has been drawn to media reports stating that the United States Coast Guard, in collaboration with the US Navy, intercepted a very large crude carrier, VLCC, Skipper, with IMO, that is International Maritime Organization unit number 9304667, alleged to be Nigerian owned and involved in crude oil theft and other transnational crimes. NIMASA wishes to put on record that the VLCC skipper is not a Nigerian flagged vessel and its purported owners, Tomaros Global Ventures Limited, are not registered with NIMASA as a shipping company. Na ihe ndị a na-akọ dị, but you saw this kind of a thing. You saw this thing in your coast, in your region. You saw it. According to you, said the last time you saw it was 2024. You saw it and you did not raise alarm. So if US Army, US Navy, and the Coast Authority did not seize it, you would not talk. So you are coming to do damage control, Nigeria. You are coming to do damage control. You are now telling us that it is not registered. You are denying even the order. You don't know about it. So as you have been seeing it, why didn't you tell the person that this thing is not registered and you allow it to be operating in your region? For you to say that the last time you saw it was 2024, which means you have been seeing it. And what did you do when you have been seeing a large carrier of crude oil like that? A large vessel of crude oil. Now, ami your resources. Na-ebu apụ ọkwa na be anyị ka a na-ebu this oil o. Ọkwa na be anyị na Delta State. Ọkwa be anyị, ọkwa our resources. Una hụrụ ahịa ego a na-akpa aha. How many billion dollars? $3.3 billion worth. Chineke. From my backyard o. Bịa na bịa ezuru na be anyị. O sulanụ ha na-agọzikwa agọ. Look at now, they are denying it. But they have been operating with it. So for you to tell us that it is not a Nigerian, you don't know about it, the order is not registered. Why did you allow it to float in your place? An analysis of the vessel's movement monitored through the agency's command. I come again. An analysis of the vessel's movement monitored through the agency's command, control, communication, computers, and intelligence, C4 center. Oh God. C4 center shows that the vessel was last sighted in Nigerian waters on 1st July 2024. Hey, arụ mere. Hey. Hey, Chineke na arụ mere. Ụbọchị ọma nwanne m, ụbọchị ọma nwanne m. Uchenna, you're welcome. Ụtụtụ ọma, ụbọchị ọma ndị nke m. Oh, lovers of freedom, great Biafrans. Ndewonu. Hey, Nigeria gwụrụ agwụ. Nigeria can lie. They can lie. Chai. So if US did not intercept this theft, unu agaghị apụtakwu okwu. US anya unu gbadokwa o. You saw one of the Islamic cleric bragging that as not 15 of them will fly to America and will enter US government house. Immediately kwuchara that thing, US enwe that attack that finally took the life of one of the security men there. Okay, so now this is another one, and the labor na link here, Islamic and Iran. So, and the Nigeria who their base. Onye a na-ekwu ihe a, this person na-ede this thing. Ka eke uche gị dị, look at ndị unu si no intelligence. Let me read it again. It says, NIMASA wishes to put on record that the VLCC skipper is not a Nigerian flagged vessel. Okay? It's not a Nigerian flagged vessel. Yes, it was carrying a flag of another country. Guyanese. Okay? He said, and its purported owners, Tomaros Global Ventures Limited, are not registered with NIMASA as a shipping company. Are not registered with NIMASA as a shipping company. Manona be buru oyi that what $3.3 billion US dollars. Na-ebu na-apụ, and it is not registered. To worsen the whole thing, look at a report. It says, an analysis of the vessel's movement monitored through the agency's command, control, communication, computers, and intelligence C4 center. C4 center shows that the vessel was last sighted in Nigeria waters on 1st July 2024, which means it has been operating in your region, yet it is not registered. Trust US. They will investigate and know who owns it. Ma ọ dịkwanụgo nke ahụ abụrụgo their own. In fact, that Nigeria is plus 3.3 billion US dollars as at yesterday. Okay? Otu aka unu ya na-eluzu, you people, unu ga na-eluzu as far as you are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra until you let us be. Until you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu n'ebe ahụ unu jedewe ya, until na-asị hapụ Mazi Simon Ekpa na onweghị ihe o mere, until na-asị Biafra, please go and have your peace. That is when unu ga-amị unu na-eme. Otherwise, unu agaghị amị unu na-eme. Unu ga na mistake ga na-awa ahụ unu, and sorry ga-awụ nke unu, because unu ga na-adakpi n'aka US. And US na-esizi ihe unu, ha na-eji clear evidence, because you can't just do this hapụ gị. Otu ọnụ je luzuo na Burkina Faso should not release that jet. Unu na-asị unu na-agafe agafe. Unu ga-land na another country, ha esizi ihe unu. It's only China na-ezuru ego, ezuru resources ndị Nigeria, unu ya ga na-aga datị ha na-ahapụ unu. Unu ga na-ada. Nigeria ga na-ada. Ịzọpụ okwu ụkwụ ịda 10,000 times. Ịzọpụ the other okwu ịda 20,000 times. Otu aka unu ga-adagide, and we will be rising. Biafra ga na-arise. Okay? It says, after departing, Inuria, so it is not registered. Manobu registration number. Or say it is after departing Nigerian waters. The vessel continued on its international voyage continued on its international voyage pattern and was tracked operating in the Arabian Sea, Asia, and later in the Caribbean region, where the U.S. interdiction is it interception or what? Koshoride. I don't know whether it's interception or interdiction. Eventually, I think it's interception. U.S. interception eventually took place. This interception. Ononoria. Also that after departing Nigerian waters, but they are claiming that it was not registered. The vessel continued on its international voyage pattern. So what was it doing in Nigerian waters? What did it come to do in Nigerian waters? Who received it in Nigerian waters? From where did it come before landing in Nigerian waters? Oh, you know, ima now. Nigeria. He said, and was tracked operating in the Arabian Sea, Asia. To tell you, they sent the first thing US reported that no is linked to with Iran. So look at it here. It's operating in the Arabian Sea, Asia, and later in the Caribbean region. So, and I assume that Nandia will go Nigeria. For them to even invite Cindy Hamas or be na Nigerian television when na interview kunu mara na Nigeria agwụla. So hawa ha were ego na Nigeria awụ nke ha adọ ihe a na-eme ka ha were ya officially. Ihe a mere na Turkey ka ha na-achọ ime na Nigeria. You go. So they are the one operating in Nigeria. They could not intercept it until US intercepted it. Or see, where the US interception eventually took place. It says, records indicate that Skipper, which was formerly owned by Triton Navigation Corp, was under one multiple name. Was okay. I come again. Records indicate that Skipper, which was formerly owned by Triton Navigation Corp, was undergone has undergone multiple name changes over time. So how did you know that it was going multiple changes? It is not registered. You better know they may undergo multiple change from time to time. So also hear that name, it still come to, it is operating in Nigeria. You recognize, you admit that it has undergone multiple name changes and it has been in your territory, and the last time you cited it was in 1st November 2024. You tracked it. It was now operating in Arabian Sea and later to Caribbean region. Unu na-agwa Biati. Unu na-agwa ndị unu uche na ha amaghị anything na Ghana. So when this ship landed, there was no news. There was no news. If it was registered and it left, you did not see it again, assuming it is your own, there was no news. If not that US intercepted. US Arizona, Ganu Niru, na one by one. Because this is our resources from Southeast. Oh my God, this is not that the count with their problem. Igbos, you want to collect our oil, you want to come and collect our oil, but the oil that you claim is your own, you don't know how it is operating. Look at it. Some top officials must have stolen the oil, and that is true. Some top officials from anywhere, from Nigerian force, Nigerian government, or from the port authority itself. Some top officials must have stolen the oil. Then they use Guyana flag to deceive everybody. They use another country's flag to deceive everybody without letting the country know. Now it is US that detected the stealing and arrested it. The oil will be seized by US. It is gone, and that is true. I have said it here. It is gone. I say that the US is plus $3.3 billion just overnight. Just like that. Lose because of your greed. Allow us to go. You will not let us be. Could you just imagine the kind of thing that may happen? Yeah, that is what they do. And they may all these Fulanis. How they made this thing, these Arabian nations, how they oil, they will use it to be sponsoring because of their intention to take over West Africa. So they are using it to gather money. How do they have this money? How do they sponsor all these things? They steal what belongs to us and still use it to sponsor the destruction of our own land, destruction of our lives. US Arizona, please, Ganu Niru Nemeya, Nesizia, every now and then. Keep on. They will keep losing. They will keep losing. Onye si na achụkwa anọghị. Otu aka unu ga na-eluzu ihe unu. One after the other. One after the other. One after the other. Okay? So, that one is gone. Let us see. I come across this let me see. Let's have see Marcel in his explanation. It is very interesting. It's very interesting. Let's see this let's see this. Okay. All right. Go on that Indian way tactics and they are working seriously to achieve their plan. Listen to what Marcel has to, what our brother Kocha has to say. Okay, let's listen to his exposition here.
Who are carrying gun and don't know. The terrorists who thrive. Friday, the 12th day of December is today, 2025. Now, in Nigeria, at this moment in time, it is very easy to spot out who are the terrorists, because the terrorists in Nigeria is not those who are carrying gun and don't know. The terrorists are not only people who are in the bush. They are in the government houses, they are in their homes, they are in the civil service, they are everywhere. Now, I want to draw your attention to something very significant, because I see that those terrorist sympathizers who are still terrorists themselves, I think so, because anybody who is sympathizing with terrorists, a non-terrorist, international recognized terrorist, you know that the person is also a terrorist. Now, there is a news that Sahara Reporters posted, and look at it. It says, U.S. Congressman says Fulani militia carrying out genocidal campaign against Christians after Nigerian visit to report to Trump. Do you know what someone I know very well posted? Amin Ahmed is from Gusau, Zamfara State. Look at what he posted. He said, "We fought the U.S. Army, siding with Biafra Army during the Civil War of 1966, and we won. Be assured that we can do it again." You are the one that don't understand this post. They are just telling.
Have you heard it? Have you seen it? Aminu Ahmed, "We fought the U.S. Army, siding with the Biafra Army during the Civil War of 1966, and we won. Be assured we can do it again." And thank God that they know that US, you are. That's why Mazo Gechukwu Nkeneti, you are the leader of conscience. So if you people were with us during that period, please, that war has still been on. It is still on ever since then. Unu made a needful because no. Let it be. Unu megaria horses or kainwero wine. They are still doing the same thing. Please act fast so that we will be free from this mayhem. Look at what somebody can be bold to say. Look at. And say Nandia, a very known person in the north. August Okwana, one of the people na politics. And say Nandia that they have the same mentality. Onye na ha support abụọ na support ya na no so ha. But because of that their religion, o nwere ike obi ya o nwere ka o si eme ya, but maka na religion ya ahụ ha na-achọ nnọọ ime something that will for it to prosper. They can do anything. Ichere na gị na onye ahụ so before na onye ahụ agadịpụgo gị. We fought the U.S. Army, siding with the Biafra Army during Civil War of 1966, and we won. Be assured we can do it again. Who did you win? Because the whole, in fact, the U.S. was not U.S. did not really want to come in, because they really came in. You cannot. Did you win? When you gathered, the whole Egypt was there. All of many European countries and Asian countries were there. Russia. Okay? Yet, I had Bonagbo for 3.5 years. Bonagbo, upon all the whole thing, upon all the Beranike. Because of how people were dying of hunger, they said, okay, let it end. In Abamba.
You that by Randy Moore confirming genocide in Nigeria, where he saw 600,000 plus Christians in one IDP camp in one state, not two states.
Look at it. Say, U.S. Congressman says Fulani militants militants carrying out genocidal campaign against Christians after Nigeria visit to report to Trump. Okay, so after Nigeria visited, they started carrying the Habeya increase, like what we saw in Anambra. They went and burned churches, burned pastors vicar, my moto, everything, my property, my documents, the other time, Nahia Zika Hagara, Game attack Ahia. ha megidego ya na Lagos. Every time I see na ahịa agbara ọkụ, this market caught fire. Ebe ọkụ si wee bata ka a na-anaghị agba. They are now in Anambra. Soludo nọkwa ebe ahụ. Soludo nọ n'ebe ahụ. They are operating. This man posted this thing. Yaka onye nke ọzọ bịara ime counter. Ihe ahụ Sahara reporters that posted what this man says after they visit.
They understand.
Then I didn't see this video. I would have looked for it directly from Sahara reporters.
The message. They understand that Trump is actually coming to take out these terrorists. But these terrorists are their brothers. They know them. They know whom they are. They know the family, and they support these terrorists committing ethnic cleansing. So they are saying that they are going to wage war with the U.S. in case the U.S. come to kill the terrorists. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Now, the Nigerian government had earlier signed an agreement with the U.S. to come and help them kill these terrorists. However, I told you that Rebado did not make known his agreement with the U.S. open. So the agreement is hidden. It is only Redemo that came to Fox News and exposed it that they are talking with Nigerian government, and Nigerian government have agreed for them to collaborate with them to take away these terrorists. However, these terrorist sympathizers in the north are saying that they are going to wage war with the US. So I made a video before this video. I'm saying that Trump is not coming to start a war in Nigeria. He is coming to end it, because very soon all these folks will start running to BBC and all these fake media houses to tell the whole world that Trump is coming because of resources. No, Trump is coming to stop the war. It's going to be sweet. Now, let us forget about this. Let us go to another thing very important that I actually want you to understand. And what could that be? The two Islamic principles of war that they are using in Nigeria. The two Islamic principles of war that they are using in Nigeria. Now, pay attention. This could be the most important video on the internet today in Nigeria, and it's very important to you. A few days ago, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi made a statement. We are accusing him of being a terrorist, supporting terrorists, and talking with terrorists always. He said he is going with Nigerian police, Nigerian military, DSS, to talk with the terrorists always. That sounds so funny because...
Imagine somebody is telling you that you are accusing him of supporting terrorism, and he is also telling you that he's going with the army, with the police, with the DSS security officers to go and talk with bandits. Could you imagine? So this army, this police, this DSS could not apprehend the terrorists. They could not hold them. They could not catch them up or arrest them. They go and they make escort to go and discuss with them. They say people who na church on be make kidnap people, na be a bundi mado. Then I'm a amazing mado escort to go and talk with them. After talking with them, hala free. Manamazi nam de kano. Onwegi koji. Manunu jishiria. Hear him.
That is deception. They can't use it to deceive everybody. They can't use it to deceive someone like me. You mean you go with Nigerian police, DSS, and army to meet terrorists every time? So what he's saying is that the army knows, the military knows where the terrorists are. They know them. The police knows them. The DSS, in other words, they are working with the terrorists. So that is a part. Now, what is Sheikh Ahmed Gumi doing? He's using one principles of war. Among these two, I'm going to explain to you. Generally, almost all of them who are supporting these terrorists are using the one you know, and it is Taqiyya. Now, Taqiyya is an Islamic principles of war that you know. You know what it means? It means that even though someone is putting his hand on a Quran and he is swearing, like what Sheikh Gumi said a few days ago, that anybody who is sympathizing with terrorists may Allah struck the person. That is the prayer of Sheikh Ahmed Gumi just 4 days ago.
Imagine if Gumi onye si ha can say this thing. Gamara that Nandi na-ekwu one, ha na-eme two. You don't believe them. They are feeling that no na amaghị ihe. So they can do anything. They can tell you anything. As far as all their agenda, according to their belief, they will go ahead and do it. They can do all kind of ritual sacrifice. Ndị na-ata nnama ha tadebo nnama ndị a. Stop iri anụ efi. Look at it. 1, takia. 2, al-haduyabia. Al-hadabia. Al-hadabia. Second target or mechanism.
That is takia. Now, even though you place your hand on Quran and you lie, you have it in mind that as far as you are expanding the cause of Islam, the Quran is going to forgive you and your Allah is going to forgive you. That is the first Islamic principles of war. You don't know this, but I am.
God. Allah is not God. Allah God Shokike. Allah is not Shokike. Obu Shokike. Obu Obinigwe. Allah bu Obinigwe. Obu Okike Keruwa. So how am I na-efe ekwensu ji ndị a were kwara ngwọrọ and ekwensu ahụ ka a na-efe ha bara ala.
I'm going to explain this to you in a way that you are going to understand it. Now, the second one is what they call the Treaty of Peace. It is an Islamic principles of war, and that is what Sheikh Ahmed Gumi is using in Nigeria. Islamic principles of war. The second one they are using in Nigeria is called the peace deal. In Nigeria, they call it peace deal, but in global concern, they call it a peace treaty, and they call it in Islamic term Al-Hudaybiyah. Al-Hudaybiyah. Look at the spelling on the screen. Go and search it and understand. Now, where did they coin this Al-Hudaybiyah from? Where do they coin it from? This video is very important, and I want you to share it for people to understand what is going on. Now, this Al-Hudaybiyah was coined out from the olden days, where their prophet Muhammad signed a peace deal in March 628 after Christ. Okay, this peace deal was between Prophet Muhammad, representing the people of Medina, and other tribe of Mecca. You see, this Mecca they used to go in Saudi Arabia. I am going to tell you how Mecca fell into this Islamic regime and to Prophet Muhammad. Now, Prophet Muhammad, after conquering the people in Medina, he was trying to conquer Mecca, but he sees that he don't have the capacity to conquer Mecca. Stay with me. What did he do? Now, he now signed peace agreement with them. Let's stop this war. Because he don't have that capacity to conquer them at that moment. He said, let us stop this war. They signed a 10-year peace agreement. Now, after signing the 10 years peace agreement, you know what happened? The prophet now started building his own army. And within 2 years, he sees that, yes, I now have the army to conquer these people. He now violated the treaty and invaded Mecca, and Mecca fell. That was how Mecca fell. Now, I'm not telling you a story and a history, no. I am telling you what is going on in Nigeria right now. You see peace deal. Today you see peace deal here. Tomorrow you see peace deal here. And any mosque, any imam that spoke against peace deal, that stopped peace deal. Now, why are you making peace deal with people who are killing people? That mosque, they will attack it and kill people there. Why? Because they believe they are expanding the cause of Allah, the cause of Islam. Do you now see the principles of Al-Hudaybiyah? Al-Hudaybiyah is a principle of peace treaty. So anytime they come into your community, they start attack, and they see that they can't win you at that moment, they will psychologically make you to initiate a peace deal. You will sign a peace deal with them. You know what peace deal means? We will not attack you, don't attack us again. Then that process, they will call in their people, come. Or you get ammunition prepared. And when they see that they have capacity more than you, they will strike. They will strike. And when they strike, they will strike so hard that you will even start begging for peace again. They will sign again. They will expand. So that is behind the principle of expansionism. Like these people, they use this peace deal to expand. It's a principles of war in Islam. I have so many friends who are Muslims. They love me and I love them. You know why? They don't pretend to me and I don't pretend to them. They tell me what is and I tell them what is. This is the truth you must understand as a Nigerian at this moment. So these people's techniques of war is not all about shooting. Wait. The principles of what they are using that is working is even more than these people carrying gun. This carrying of gun is aspect of it, like imposing the GCR tax. If you're not a Christian, you see in so many parts of the north, they ask farmers to pay tax to them. If you didn't pay tax, they kill you. You understand? It is called GCR tax. It's part of this process of conquering people. Now, if these people continue like this, and you yourself will think that, now, one of my Muslim friends told me that time will come that Nigeria will be forced to enter peace treaty with these terrorists, because these terrorists is going to take over the country because they already have what it takes to do that. A Muslim friend told me this, and he's watching this video. There are so many people who are even Muslim don't know what is going on. But it is time for me to come out to expose these things, to let you know that these are the two principles of war that these people are using. These people are in the government. They are in your church. They are in your mosque. They are in your marketplace. They are in your school. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. You people did not understand this thing on time. This was what so many people saw from the beginning that made them to start suggesting that Nigeria should split like other countries did. And after these people must have infiltrated everywhere, if you split Nigeria, it will be a continuous war. It will be a continuous war, like what is happening in Sudan. When they were telling Sudan, divide, long time ago, more than 30 years ago, they were telling Sudan, divide this country. They said, no, we can't divide it. We are together. People from the north are already in the south. People from the south are already in the north. People were laughing at them. 20 years ago, divide this country. No, you can't divide this country. When they see that this is about life and death, they now went on, they divided the country. But the time they divided the country, these people have infiltrated the whole nation. What is happening? Crisis. That is what is going to happen in Nigeria. Before your eyes will open to understand what we are even talking about, it will be late. It will be late. That time you can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't even understand what is going on. Anyway, I rest my case here. If you did not understand what Okocha Pimase is saying, I think you should understand the former head of Nigeria Defense Intelligence Agency.
So, you have heard it all. The plan they are using. The number one is takia. Takia is that in Islam, you have the right to lie. As far as you are lying to carry more no evil agenda from akwụkwọ okpukpere ha, according to Quran. Even if midowere aka gị were ya nwa iyi na-atụ asị na-egbu mmadụ, that na chi ahụ ha na-efe ekwensu ahụ ha na-efe na ọ ga-agbaghara ha. That is takia. Lying, deception with takia. And then ma na ihe a na-eme ha pụta ime just like what they used to do to Israel, which Benjamin gwara ha, or one of their ambassadors. How dare you will buy innocent children, you will go to hospital, bomb hospital, Ghana school, bomb, then that Israel is spying you. That is a takia. And then he has waged the world when they make capture Europe. Takia, they can lie. They can lie as far as they want to carry out their evil agenda. It is accepted in Islam. That is number one. Okay. Another one, wuru nke a na-akpọ Al-Hadabiyah, who another mechanism, another tactics. There's no problem. Let's make peace. Let's make a deal. Let's live together. We are better united. We cannot be divided. We love ourselves. Hey, even though we don't love ourselves, we can live together as one. Let's make peace. That is why you see them going to say that they are making peace deal with them. Calm down, let everything happen. Whereas they have sealed their plan. Check what happened to Turkey. Maka na church and their pray say, this place. This place the Christian country Bushagara. You know, let me just say, Turkey was a Christian country. They have told you how Turkey collapsed is because of through this Takia and Al-Habadiya, Al-Hadabiya. They use it to overcome Turkey. They use it to overcome Mecca. They use it to overcome Mecca. Mecca ha jizi wee mere obodo ha, ngwụzi obodo ha. And then ha chọrọ ime na Africa iji were Nigeria wee mere ebe isi ha. Okay? So that is it. They use it. Can you say this country? Eh? They all has were made, even Egypt. All he has were made conquer Egypt. Egypt was not an Islamic country before. How does it have Burundi? They will come and take over. That is why all the guy who's in Egypt, not in the it was originally black people. How could you allow this? How could you allow this? I have stayed long in this program. If not, I wanted to bring out another thing for us to listen. I don't know whether I will just stream it, but it's a long one. No? It's a long one. I don't know if I can still have time to worry about it. Let me see. Oh dear, it is really terrible. Let me see if I can. Will I be able to play this also? Anna Bunu, please support your freedom. Support your freedom. Support your freedom. Support this freedom. Let us gain ourselves. Support your freedom. Now let us listen to this interview. Okay? Let's listen to this interview. It's a long one, but that is what he wanted to bring in. To tell you how these people have really organized and shaped this country. This was 4 years ago, but to refresh the brain of our people, let's refresh our brain so that they need for us to hasten. They need for us to imengwangwa. They need for us to support our freedom. They need for us to sit at home. More especially these days, them are out from Monday till Friday. Sit at home. Give me the need for. Let's listen.
Yes, we'll be talking about what you just minimized. And here we are today. So details are emerging. That raises more questions than answers at the moment. But what's my impression? I think it's just the impression of every Nigerian at this point. This is an aberration. I mean, you don't attack Nigerian Defense Academy and kill officers and get away with it.
Yeah.
The last time I was in NDA was in 2017. I went to...
But this time, they attack Defense Academy and buy people, even kidnap officers, high-ranking military officers. Nothing will happen. Nothing.
Carry out an investigation by the Minister of Defense. I wanted me to check what is going on with the training and the security environment there. I remember I spent about a week at NDA with the commandant and with the staff, you know. But something struck me, and that was every Friday.
Please, I beg us, let's click the like button and share this broadcast. Click the like button. Because
gate of NDA is thrown open, and everybody have access to come and pray in the mosques. And I want to actually enjoin journalists to go to all military formations across the country on Friday by 1 o'clock. You are going to see the same thing happening across all military formations, including Naval Training Commander Papa, including the division in Ibadan, including NDA, including Jaji. I was in Jaji in 1994 for my junior division. And every Friday, our gate is thrown open. And everybody comes in to pray in our mosques. Even though they have their mosque outside. If you go to defense headquarters, I serve at defense headquarters as the Deputy Director, Defense Administration between 2015 and 2017. Throughout my 2 years at defense headquarters, I received visitors only twice because of the strict security architectures at the defense headquarters. But every Friday, the gate of defense headquarters is thrown wide open for everybody to come in and do Jumat. That is the time the terrorists have the time to profile our security environment.
Has that always been the case?
It has always been the case. I've served the military intelligence for the past 35 years. It has always been the case. Our problem is religion and social-cultural. I mean, people will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yar'Adua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. And the arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if you go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lawrence Shakin asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Shakin that if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yep. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who?
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 bureau de change related, people that was sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians. Tried them. We know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know.
Presently in government.
Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Lonshokin, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying are the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah. You know, Commodore.
So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blimps. The blimps are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blimps are equipment that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations as they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to now.
Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. Since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. And some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence reports and say this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
I'm sorry, is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church. You cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So, when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Henry Oka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted the operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased, in fact, they're going to induct the Sopeto Kano jet because of, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to sort this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because
so it's
a spectrum. It's a spectrum, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, when you say the DSS, and they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. When I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently, as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the commander-in-chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The chief of naval staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, I mean, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about too. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle, okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you discover that the end game for them is to just turn this country into like a Taliban type of country. And it's a mindset. And anything goes. In other words, 10% casualties, 20% casualties is allowed in trying to achieve the end game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask. If they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. The government also told us that they've arrested 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. Why should a government not try those people and bring peace and harmony and safety to this nation? Why won't a government do that? Those people that are going to harass cadets and officers in NDA, they live around the place. I know NDA very well. I was in Georgia, I was in NDA as young officers, and I know the area very well. They live around the place. So why can't you put up a blimp that can see what they are doing in real time and eliminate them? Why won't you do that?
In fact, there were more details saying that some persons slept up, but we'll come to that hopefully. Markwa has got some questions for you. Markwa, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chamberlain. Much as we're looking at it looks like we're looking at the remote causes. The immediate causes, I think, is what is worrying a lot of people in terms of the significance of the attack. For some people, they're wondering, what do you think were the bandits trying to pass home a message when they chose the National Defense Academy as the area of the attack? I mean, as the area they decided to attack? Because normally people know that military installations, for instance, if you were to, I mean, you've talked about how the military institutions are usually open to the public on Fridays. There'll be questions as to this attack did not happen on a Friday, it happened on a Tuesday. So the guards were supposed to have been up. So there'll be questions as to what happened, how was the perimeter breached, what about the guards are usually mounted on, watchtowers, what were they doing, were they asleep? There'll be areas where there are CCTV cameras. What happened in those areas as well? There are huge questions around around that. And then the significance, what gave these bandits the audacity, the temerity to be able to say, this is going to be the area we want to attack today? Do you have any questions roaming in your head in terms of, what were they trying to really achieve beyond? Because some people say this is not about ransom. Maybe they want to take a ransom, yes, maybe. But it looks like they were trying to send home a message.
Yeah, thank you, Markwe. You just got it right. They just want to send a message. And this is what terrorists do. And what the Buhari government should do is to tag these people as terrorists. What they want to do is to send a message to create fear. and to show the military that we can come for you and there's nothing you can do. You may not know, I don't know whether it's out in the news, that the major has been killed. Belongs to some groups, and I know about 3 hours ago his body was found. He has been killed. So it's not about ransom. I just want to confirm to Makwe that she is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians.
Sorry if I could follow up on that quickly.
Please go ahead.
This part of what you just spoke about now, the security agencies gleaned this from those who they arrested over time, saying this is the intention.
Absolutely. The intention of it's on the internet. So it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Because it is the DIA that conducted the operations that arrested these sponsors. So they know them. Why is the government, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces?
The general area of Afaka, where where the NDA is cited, is no stranger to this sort of attacks. Before now, I mean, a few other institutions around the Defense Academy have also been attacked. Talking about the Institute of Agriculture and Forestry, Mechanized Division, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact name of the institution now, but we do know that they have been around this area. Now, I'm looking at the front page of Daily Trust newspapers, and they have this, why NDA security was compromised. And the first writer says, bandits leave peacefully. Peacefully is in parenthesis, near academy. There have been questions before now that sometimes, this happened in Jos, around Rukuba, that, there were attacks happening in the neighboring area, and that the military institutions did nothing. The same thing happened when there were attacks on the airport, the airport's residential area in Kaduna. That was very close to the Defense Academy. They did nothing. They attacked the forestry school in Kaduna. They did nothing. Now they have finally come for them, but the talk is that these people have been there all along. They never went anywhere. The bandits who perpetrated this attack have been there all along. Does the military really need, I mean, if this is something that is of concern to the security agencies, because it was only a matter of time from what it would seem that we're reading that these attacks were going to happen, did they really need to wait this long before they took action against people they knew were a security threat to not just them, but also the people around their environment?
Yeah, Makwe, I may also shock you that some cadets have been abducted before now. And when they took these cadets away, and they demanded for ransom, as low as 400,000 naira at that time, the cadets were released after the ransom were paid. And the cadet told them that where they took them to, that they could hear the parade going on in NDA, that they were not taken far away from NDA, that every morning they hear the parade and the programs going on in NDA while they were in the camp of the terrorists. You are right. These people live around NDA. It's about social-cultural issue. As long as you're a Muslim and you speak Fufude or Hausa, you can do whatever you like and fraternize with the military and go in and out of the barracks. You are saying that the attack did not happen on Friday. Of course, it will not happen on Friday, but they have enough time to carry out surveillance. They have enough time to have insiders that will work with them. The problem is that journalists should go around our military institution this Friday and carry their cameras and see the decadence, the security breach that goes on every Friday in all military institutions across Nigeria, and tell the Minister of Defense to put a stop to that. The defense institutions, they are sacred. They are not where people can come on Friday, throw open the gate because they want to come and do Jumat. The truth is that on Sundays, we don't have such, invasion of our premises by Christians to come and pray or to come and do whatever on Sundays. But for the 35 years I spent in the military intelligence, if you go to Tego Barracks in Apapa, it's the same. The Tego Barracks is where I was trained as an intelligence officer. It's the same. On Friday, they will troop in. They throw it open. It's religion. And because we must think about solution. The Minister of Defense should stop this. They should make pronouncement and stop it. Every Friday, people should go to various mosques around them to pray and maintain the sanctity of our military institutions. That's what I
wanted to know if this has been an issue before now. I mean, has this been anything that, the people at the top in the military have found as a source of concern? Let me raise an instance. For instance, we know that at almost every security institution, even on the roads here in Abuja, before you can enter the same road that leads to any military institution is divided in two. There are huge barricades to prevent anybody from just entering, so to speak. This became a source of concern for the military in terms, especially after the attacks on the police headquarters. Has this been a source of concern for for the top brass of the military to say, hey, look, if we're taking these steps to put barricades, then this is also going to be a source of concern for us. What can we do about it? Have they elevated this discussion?
At defense headquarters, every Monday, even if you go this Monday coming, you will see they're always there to discuss intelligence and security brief. We discuss all topics there, including the issue of Muslims gathering every weekend. All those barriers you see at defense headquarters, and that's why I'm talking to the media. They should go there on Friday. The barrier is no longer there. It's open because it is Jumat. And this is when they come to carry out surveillance. If you look at what happened in Mogadishu Barrack, it was the same. There was a time they went there and blasted the place and killed a lot of people. It's these same people that are allowed to have access on Fridays and become members of the mess because they are, it's a social-cultural issue. So I think we should begin to look, the Minister of Defense should put an end to this, because for 35 years of my stay in the military intelligence, it has been the case. Both naval institutions, Air Force institutions, Army institutions, even the Department of State Services. Once it's Friday, the gates are thrown open, and people come from outside, and there'll be no space. They'll be all over. If you go to Defense Headquarters on Friday, this Friday, you see them littered everywhere.
If I could just comment now. I mean, this conversation is usually quite tricky. I mean, people listening, some might take different perspectives to it, thinking, oh, is this a religious thing? Is this an ethnic thing? They ask, is it only Muslims you have in the military? Is it only people from this certain cultural, heritage that you have in the military? And I'd like us to tackle the issues. You have mentioned what you have called the core, as it were, of the problem. How do we tackle this without viewing it from a religious spectrum, an ethnic spectrum? Because you know well, Nigeria is quite, polarized across, these groups, ethnicity and religious. How do we tackle it without coming off as though you're inciting people, on those lines?
You see, one thing I discovered in this country is that when it comes to religion, everybody is very sensitive. But the fact I have laid bare is from the experience of 35 years of military intelligence. So I'm not coming to the air to whip up sentiments, no. I have been in the system. I work with Abacha government. I work with Babangida government. I work with Abdul Salam. I work with Yar'Adua Obasanjo. As a core insider of operations, I belong to a group of people that you are not supposed to see, people that you are not supposed to hear, because we have 3 classes of military officers. I belong to the worst group. I lost my family because my family does not have to know where I have been, where I have gone, and I cannot talk. I've seen Colonel Olu here, I've seen Stan Lambo. Some of us belong to that group that we are not supposed to be seen, and we are not supposed to be heard. The truth I'm telling you now is not about sentiments. Is that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on the issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth, because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that are listening to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than an individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go. Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem and will not add value. But he will come and go. And somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society, the damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, APC, before the truce within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented. And it should not be allowed to be swept under the carpet, because the damage to the psyche of this country is monumental.
We'll talk more on this, but pardon me, we've kept Mr. Alfred Ononuju waiting. He's a security consultant and the forensic investigator as well. Good morning, and pardon us, we just had to explore some of these positions. So, you've been listening in to what's being said, and then perhaps also read and updated yourself with the current situation concerning that scenario with the NDA. What do you think?
First, let me thank my dear brother as a patriot. He's speaking not to impress anybody. He's speaking as a patriotic Nigerian. He's also expressing his experience at times in service to Nigeria as a nation. May I also condole with the families of the officers and men that were brought down during this attack. It's pathetic. To say it's unfortunate is to make light the issue of what is happening to us as Nigerians and what is happening to Nigeria. The least of our aspirations and expectations was to find ourselves where we currently are, as a people. It's worrisome that there has been this, unseriousness about tackling the identified threats. And I believe that one of the solemn pledge of any officer is to protect the territorial integrity of our country. Now, when these territorial integrities are being flagrantly held with contempt and invaded with impunity, I think something must have given way. And there doesn't seem to be a response, a measured response to some of these threats as expected from people under oath, from people who have sworn to protect and defend the territories of Nigeria. Having said that, frankly, I want to thank you for allowing the veteran to just take us down the line. And I think he's been one of the most courageous Nigerians I've met in my entire life. So I give you my compliments, sir. We are worried. I'm a father, I have children, and I'm sure most families are concerned. When you put it side by side with the stories coming from the Middle East, particularly the Afghan story, the invasion of the Defense Academy is a signature too loud. It's something that we do not have an explanation for. And I expect that a couple of things should happen. One of which is that I think the National Assembly, if they are not compromised, should look at the options of impeaching the president. I'm sorry, I'm an APC member, but I think when it comes to the safety of the land, too many things have happened and they're becoming too frequent that if anyone that truly loves Nigeria is not angry or upset, then the person must be a hypocrite. The person must be a saboteur. Secondly, I also feel that the structure of the Nigerian security should be reviewed. Now, we are going to be careful in making statements because we are in the public platform, being that things people say could be either misinterpreted or taken out of context. However, the truth must be said. We are facing a very dire situation. From a criminal intelligence perspective, it is very unhealthy for a nation of over 200 million, and with the strength of army that is in excess of possibly 200,000-300,000, to sit, watch as these people invade our space.
And you know, Mr. Nanoju, pardon me, if I can jump in as well. I mean, you were right when you said they could misinterpret certain things. In fact, they could even misinterpret your call because, I mean, you're a security person and you're talking politics to the National Assembly. So let's leave politics for them to do what they have to do in politics. But speaking about security, now that this has happened, of course, they'll tell us there'll be investigation. They'll look through what's going on. So, having heard what Komodo has said, do you think that there can actually be a solution? Will they hit a brick wall, or do we expect any results from any investigation that will be going on?
Well, it will be impossible to think of a solution outside politics because the policymakers are the politicians. They run the show. The president is a democratically elected president. So he depends on not only his political interests, but also structures of the government, which is under the authority of political establishment. So the solution will come from two ways. First is that we have to, like General said, we have to identify where the problem is coming from. And he captured it very well. We are suffering from ethno-religious invasion of the establishment. When we eliminate the unbearing influence of religion and ethnicity in our systems, then I think we begin to promote patriotism. Now, patriotism can never thrive when religious and ethnic superiority, is in front of the border. So we need to, first of all, look at the moral engagement. We need to come back to the table. And I think this brings to those who are crying and calling for restructuring in the country. Because where we are, it favors a section of the religious interest more than the other. So what we're going to see is a systemic elimination of each other from the two ends. And then it will boil down to ethnic conflict. Because when you kill somebody that is a Muslim, he comes from an ethnic group, maybe he's a Fulani, or he's Hausa, or he's Yoruba, or Igbo Muslim, then it will trigger a chain of reactions. Now, if you kill a Christian, like the major that was taken, I understand he has a Christian background. So connotations and all kinds of innuendos and all kinds of things will be coming in. So we are sitting on a dangerous platform. The solution for...
Pardon me to jump in on this. On the lighter note, there's a problem that came from me, actually. I mistakenly called you Ononuju instead of Ononugo, and thank you for understanding that it was an honest mistake.
That's okay.
Thank you for that. Well, let me bring it back to Komodo. Looking at the narrative out there, they got in by 1 a.m. These terrorists, which sometimes they call them bandits, and now you look at the entire procedure, how this attack was carried out, and then they also said that those who were supposed to be manning the CCTV were sleeping at that time. So if you look at all this chain of events, what does that tell you?
Yeah, I think, when you come to tactical operations, the most important element for us is surprise. It doesn't matter whether they slept off whether the people that are supposed to be inside. I mean, at that time, 1 a.m., they know that they can achieve the element of surprise. Even if after 30 minutes of their invasion of that environment, it will take a lot to be able to respond to such an attack. So don't start looking for who to blame or who to...
It's just with a view to correct some of these things. Are they supposed to be sleeping in the first place, manning CCTV cameras?
For an attack, I've conducted attack in Niger. I've conducted attack in Angola. You see, no matter how fortified an environment is, no matter how foreign it is, if you can achieve the element of surprise, you win. I know NDA very well. I know the security architecture. Even if by that time, 1 a.m., they want to respond to that, I know the process. The weapons are in the armory. You need to go and open the armory and start signing. The bandits is not going to allow that to happen. They continue to fire and continue to follow up. And you cannot respond. In any response, you are going to be caught by bullets. So it's not about what happened at 1 a.m. Gentlemen, it's about what has been happening for the past 2 years, 3 years, where these people have been having access, unfettered access to NDA.
So
and they carry out their surveillance, and they know the right time to strike. It's about 2-3 years back. It's not about now. So anybody that wants to investigate this issue should not look at now. They should look at what has happened in the past 2 years, 3 years, how porous the place has been, and try to mitigate it.
Two issues I'd like to quickly raise. First, do you also agree with the theory of insider collaboration for this to have happened in such brazen manner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no, I mean, we do operations like this too. And there's no way we can succeed without somebody inside. We must compromise somebody inside, either through blackmail or through incentives. Maybe we give money, or we blackmail the person, or we try to indoctrinate that person. We can't succeed without an inside person. And this attack you saw has insiders collaboration. I mean, I've investigated cases like this over the years. And I know 60% of the time, when you see an attack like this, there's an insider there.
So until that insider is fished out, we might have this sort of attack again and again.
It will always happen. There will always be insiders. If you look at the intelligence estimate globally, there are two variations. The variables are the hostile intelligence service, which is external to that country, and the domestic subversive organizations that is embedded in that country. Nothing evil can happen to a nation without the insider within that nation collaborating with the hostile intelligence services that is outside. It will always happen.
If I could just raise this other part. In the statement that was put out, the term unknown gunmen was used 3 times, the 3 paragraphs: unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen. Prior to this time, people called them bandits, some even called them terrorists. But is it instructive for you that it was a term unknown gunmen that was used?
It's deliberate. You know, I'm sorry to say that the media is part of our problem.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the statement from the academy itself, actually.
The academy also have to use that word to avoid reprimand from the higher authority. I was the commandant of Defense Intelligence College, and I know that at that time there are things I cannot say. If you term them terrorists, it carries a lot of weight, and you can be reprimanded for that as the commandant of NDA. So he's going to be very careful to keep on using that same term that is safe to use, because there are legal and other implications when you term a group terrorists.
Imagine. But you people were so fast, so quick to tag IPOB terrorists and tag Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of a terrorist. So quick. Nigeria was so quick. How many years now? It's true that this video is about 4 years ago. I just brought it to bring back our mind. But they were so quick to tag IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu terrorists. Whereas they know the context of terrorists, that it is not something that you just stand overnight and declare that somebody. You must have done a thorough investigation just because they wanted to humiliate and maim the Igbos, Biafrans, away tag terrorists, to stop our agitation, to stop our freedom. But has it stopped? No, it has even gone to a higher dimension.
But I want to say on this channel that those people are terrorists. And if the government of Buhari is serious about putting an end to what we are seeing, he must pronounce them terrorist organization. Because once he does, it carries a lot of weight. And the reaction of the armed forces, where I belonged to before, will be completely different.
What was the point you were going to make about the media?
There is nothing that is going on today that is not actually tainted by the media.
Okay.
How?
And that is why I have to come here and make bold to say what I've said. The media also know 80% of what I've said now.
Okay.
But they will not publish it. They know. I work with journalists. I was Deputy Director of Foreign Liaison at Defense Intelligence Agency. I work with journalists. I was Commandant Defense Intelligence College. I work with journalists. I train journalists in intelligence operations. They know. So why are they not also saying the obvious that will help the security and safety
at that
and
time,
progress of this country?
So at that time that you worked with the journalists and training them and doing all of that, did you give them permission to publish your name as a source if they were going to go to press with those details?
Oh, I did. It was a policy because, you see, when I was made the Commandant of Defense Intelligence...
No, because you had said that you belonged to a group that was not supposed to have been heard or seen.
Yeah.
So how did you give them permission to publish your name?
Yeah, because at that time I was holding a different appointment. I've held a lot of appointments in the military. There are certain appointments I will hold that has no connotation with intelligence at all. For example, I was the Chief of Staff Logistic Command for the Navy. That appointment has nothing to do with intelligence. I was the defense advisor to Nigeria in France. It has nothing to do with intelligence. So there are times I hold appointments and I have to deal with journalists. And I must tell you, I can mention some of them. Mohammed of NTL, I trained them because I wanted them to understand that military intelligence is not like a cult. I exposed some aspect.
Even though most of their documents are usually top secret and they tell you can't publish or even access the document, even if you see it by mistake.
No. There are places you process top secret. I mean, if you want to talk about document security, it's a lecture of itself. You have unclassified materials, you have confidential materials, you have secret materials, and you have top secret. There are processes. It's an area of military that you need to do a lot of training. So when we bring journalists in and talk to them, we ensure that they don't see unclassified materials. And it's just for them to understand how the system works. Basically, if you go to Afghanistan, if you go to Iraqi, you see journalists embedded with the military.
But it's not the case here.
I think I tried to encourage you when I was the commandant that we should allow journalists to to have access to some of the things we do so that they can say it as it is. Because when I conducted the operation in 2007 in Angola and I came to Nigeria, what you read in the newspapers, what you hear on television and what you see are completely skewed from what we were doing.
So why did they want that to happen here, to embed journalists?
I just think it's myopism. We have a lot of illiterates in the government that don't understand that hiding things in this 21st century it doesn't work anymore. They try to hide informations and they try to protect what they think is corruption to me. That's why they don't allow journalists to actually access some of these things, because this is the most corrupt country in the history of this country right now.
Mark?
Well, sometimes, there are questions as to what usually will happen. I mean, in terms of, before you went into the journalistic exploration and how the media is sometimes a part of the problem. And, I think that there's an ongoing conversation in terms of how the media can be help, can be a source of support to the military rather than a hindrance. But before we went into that discussion, I think we're talking about something else. And for some reason now, I think that has finally escaped me. But moving forward, because we're talking about the language used there, the fact that they were branded unknown gunmen, and the fact that even though it was a very short statement, it was used 3 times, in that I think that there was some attempt to try and reinforce the fact that these are unknown gunmen in that very short statement. But I'm wondering, now that this gentleman, the officer who was taken, has been murdered and his body has been found, do you think that there is any hindrance now stopping the military in going after these people? Because in many places they will tell you that people will always dare. I mean, we've seen attacks that have been very daring, even in the most developed places that are considered very developed countries. The difference between there and here is that when you do dare that sort of attack, the chances that you're going to come home or go back or go scot-free are very slim. Here we are yet to see how directly the people who committed an offense directly are, brought to book or do not go home and get away with it. Do you think that now that there is nothing at stake in terms of how this major, his body has now been found lifeless, is there any hindrance stopping the military from getting the actual people, not just the general attack or attacks that happened days later, the actual people who committed this heinous attack and crime on the Nigeria Defense Academy?
Yeah, I think they're going to get them. No doubt about that. Few days, few hours, you are going to hear that the military will get them. I know how it feels when things like this happen to colleagues. There are times we actually disobey instructions. There are times we don't follow operational orders. When our colleagues are killed in a disgraceful manner like this. Since we know we have irresponsible people at the policy level, there are times we don't listen to them. So I can assure you on this station that the military will get them. They will go after them and they will hunt them down. And they're not going to follow all these mullah, imams, and all those people that feels that it is their birthright to Islamize this country and destroy the essence and the fabric of safety, progress of this country. So the military, they're going to disobey, they're going to go out after them. And as I repeat, in a few hours, you're going to hear, they're going to get them, and they're going to deal with them.
Okay, just one more thing as we wind down. What would you advise Nigerians? I mean, they've listened to you, several things going through different people's minds now. What would you advise them to do in terms of, in the light of all that is going on, how should they conduct themselves? What should they do such that we all can have, at least contribute in whatever way we can to have a country.
Which people are you referring to now?
Nigerian citizens who are not perhaps in the military. Regular citizens.
Are you talking about the civil society?
Civil society.
What they should do?
Yeah.
I think what they should do, for me, the failure of governance is dependent. It's like a variable. When you do a simple linear regression, the failure of a government is dependent on the failure of the civil society. So you have two variables: a failed government or irresponsible government, and you now have at the other side an irresponsible and a failed civil society. This civil society has also failed. You cannot allow somebody to do for the past 6 years what this government and the so-called cabal, whatever you call them, have been doing to this country, and the civil society has been quiet. They have to speak out.
Okay. I think we have to end it here. They have to speak out. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is speaking out, Asika Ogboya Nobe. The society has to speak out. But the only man who saw what is coming over Nigeria and started shouting, speaking out. Omotosho weduru ya ga court na Oshomolu ka akpọgbuo ya n'obe. Hey, ka ama ya ikpe ọnwụ for telling the truth. But this is what he's saying, that the popular should speak out. Even when the popular spoke out at Lekki Toll Gate, what happened? They sent military. Military went there and massacred innocent civilians with their own flag. So which way can get to remedy it? If you say speak out, the person that spoke out is there in Sokoto. If you say speak out through civil defense by protesting, the people that are protesting, non are lili. It's what Kifanyaka no Keme Fanyaka being sit at home, civil defense. They will be shouting, you are crippling the economy. But he already sit at home. It is our own weapon. Biafrans, sit at home. Sit at home from next week. Next week, sit at home. Today is Saturday. Use today and tomorrow. Go and buy it. And then borrow to avoid had I know. So many things may happen. I will start Bagoka. They are there at your backyard. And you can't run away. If you don't fish them out, if you don't cleanse them out, if you don't clean your home. That is what we are saying here. Okay? They buy they would. Like this broadcast, a lot of people were not here. So I am pleading, as you come across this video, just do me a favor by clicking the like button. Okay? Back on the like button. All right. Day one. Once again, I greet you. Derelen, I greet Shasoji. I greet my brother from Biafra land, the land of the rising sun. Even Shasoji, from the land of the rising sun. Yeah. Thank you, my own Ushena. Day one. God bless every one of us and others, anyone that will come across this video. May God bless you. May Chukwokike protect us. In this season we are, may we never fall victim into the hands of the enemy. May Almighty God, Chukwokike Abiyama, protect us, guide us. Ogadira anyị na mma ụtụtụ ehihie n'abalị. Ise, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ga-apụta. Ise, Maazị Simon Ekpa ga-apụta. Ise, Biafra will come. Ise, ndewonu ụmụọma. Ka ọ dị na mgbede. Biko nunu, fundraising come and support whatever thing you have. They will be ending this broadcast now as we draw the curtain from me from here, but do not forget to click the like button. Can YouTube make spread this gospel? It will help YouTube to spread the gospel. Okay? But ọ bụrụ nnọọ na ị na-enecha hapụ ya, ọ nọrọ n'ebe ọ nọ. So the more you click the like button, the more you are telling YouTube to go further and spread this gospel. All right? So that ka ọ na-aga aga. Ndewonu. Thank you all. Bye for now.